How's going, everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is January 3rd, 2020, Friday night. And finally, we are officially in the new year. Exactly 6 months ago, on July 3rd, 2019, the night before I left for my 4th of July vacation, I uploaded my first YouTube video. Since then, I have been making over 100 videos to talk about politics, especially the Western politics, the US politics, and sometimes I compare it with the Chinese politics. And thanks to your support, your unconditional love, your suggestions, your criticism, and all of the valuable feedback you gave me, I achieved something, and I still think I have a long way to go. You know what? Since the very beginning, I have always been thinking about one day I will start making English videos. Not because I want to show off my English, because my English is not that good, it's not that perfect, but because I want to reach out a wider audience. I want my message reach out more people. Most people speak English in the United States and in many other European countries, in Canada, and in Asian countries, but only a few of us who understand Chinese and Mandarin. So if we only share our opinions by speaking in Mandarin, it will be very limited. However, at the same time, frankly speaking, I was a little nervous. I didn't have enough confidence to speak out in English, especially talking about the very hard and very complicated political issues. I know that one day I will bravely step out. I will start to do the things which is not that easy. I need to jump out of my comfort zone, and I think today, 6 months after I started my YouTube channel, is the right time. Without your support, without your encouragement and love, I cannot sit here with all the courage, with all the confidence to speak to you like this. And I will never have the courage to make this important step. My initial plan is I will try to make one English video per week. And during the remaining time, I will continue to make Chinese videos so that it will be much easier and much more efficient for me. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to comment here or reach out to me and let me know. I will try my best to make my channel to be better and more influential to the others. Today, I'm going to talk about one thing that is called gerrymandering. Probably most of you have never heard of this terminology called gerrymandering, because this is something that only if you are very interested in Western politics, you are very interested in elections, you will be able to have a chance to hear of this. First, I would like to know why I chose this topic. That is a few days ago, in the last day of 2019, I saw a video on YouTube and I watched it. It's pretty interesting. And now I will show which video I watched. So here, as you can see, if I type some keywords in YouTube called gerrymandering Hong Kong, and you will see a bunch of videos came out. And if you scroll down a little bit, you will find the first video with a Chinese title. So here it is. It was uploaded by the Guan Video, Guan 视频工作室, which is also a very famous Chinese YouTube channel talking about the politics, and they have some very high quality speakers there. One of them is called Chen Ping, who is a professor in China in Beijing University, but he got his PhD in the 1980s in a US university and majored in physics, quite interesting. His major was physics, and he got a PhD in physics. But after that, he started to use his quantitative method to learn and make research on economics as well as the politics. And I really like this guy because, as some of you may know, that he made a video quite a few years ago, probably in 2012 or 2013, and in that YouTube video, he predicted that one day the US and China will have a trade war. And as you know now, all of his predictions became the reality, fortunately or unfortunately. So this guy really has a very deep knowledge. He has some insight on the Chinese politics as well as the US politics, and also on economics, of course. So this video, you can see that it shows that the title is, if I translate it into English, it should be "This Riot in Hong Kong." It provides us a great opportunity to learn the Western politics and Western systems, the issue of those Western systems. And then it is the local election is not the same as the referendum in Hong Kong. And the next part is how people divide the district in the elections. But quite interesting, if you open this video, as you can see here, the Chinese title disappeared and it actually has an English title. It's called "Gerrymandering is Undermining Democracy in Hong Kong, Electoral Colleges." So the English title and the Chinese title, they are completely different. Probably they have some similarities, but they are talking about different things. In the English title, it has the first keyword, gerrymandering, and that is what I want to talk in today's video. And also, they talk about electoral college. You know, electoral college is not exactly the most accurate word he can use. Actually, electoral college, they are not talking about electoral college. They are talking about the election district. Like how do the political parties, they redistrict, and how do they decide which area will be a district for the political elections. You know, the electoral college is a little different. It has a different meaning because electoral college specifically means that the presidential election system for the United States. Like every 4 years, we will have a presidential election in United States. Last time 2016, this time is this year 2020. So the system they used is called electoral college. The electoral college is kind of a complicated election system. It's not very straightforward, but it's also not too complicated. How the American people, the American voters, they elected the president is not by their popular vote directly. Instead, it is determined by something called electoral college, meaning that in each district, so here the district is each state. So in each state, all the voters, they vote for the nominees from the Republican Party, from the Democratic Party, and from some third parties. Whoever wins the plurality, who gets the most number of votes, will be the winner of this state. And in this state, depending on the population of this state, the electoral college will assign a certain number of electors to this state. So for example, California has the highest population in US. So now California has 55 electoral votes. And in 2016, Hillary Clinton won California. So she got all the 55 electoral votes. That is called winner takes all system. Under this system, Hillary Clinton got a little over 200 electoral votes. But Donald Trump, he got over 300 electoral votes. And in total, there are 538 electoral votes for the US presidential election. So whoever got a majority, meaning that more than 50%, which is 269 electoral votes, will be elected to be the president of the United States. So in this case, although Hillary Clinton won the popular votes, but she lost in the electoral college. That is the reason why Donald Trump was elected to be the president of the United States in the 2016 presidential election. So electoral college specifically means the election system for the US presidential election. It has nothing to do with the Hong Kong local election 2019 in November. I think I have to point out the slight differences between the Chinese titles and English titles because it's kind of misleading. Okay, now I will talk about what gerrymandering is. First, let's take a look at the word gerrymandering. So the origin of this word comes from two words. One is the first part, Jerry. More accurately, we should say Gary, because Gary is the last name of the original person who made all stories about this terminology. His name is Elbridge Gerry. He was the governor of the state of Massachusetts in the year of 1812. So over 200 years ago, he was the governor of Massachusetts. In that year, he signed a bill on how to redistrict the state of Massachusetts. And his political enemies, they made a story on him, and they developed a new word by combining his name, Gary, with another word, salamander. They put them together called gerrymandering. Mandarin comes from the word salamander. So salamander is a group of animals, amphibians like lizard. They have the very weird shapes, just like a snake or a lizard. Because in their initial attack on Governor Gary, his political enemies criticized that Gary signed the new bill about the redistricting in order to take an upper hand in the election. She wants to take advantage of the redistricting process so that his party will be more likely to be elected. And here I can show you the original newspaper or magazine appeared in the year 1812. And you can see that it looks like a salamander or very weird shaped animal. What's that? That is actually the district area. So now, as we say that in the Western politics, a lot of elections was made under the following system. That is, people vote. The voters vote. They vote for a person who can represent them. That is called representatives or the congressman or lawmaker, whoever you want to call. And this representative will go to Washington, D.C., go to the Capitol Hill, and all of those representatives, they will meet together. They will discuss the issues, and they will make the decisions which will decide the future of this country. So those representatives are very powerful. However, how the representatives was selected or decided is a little kind of tricky. It was decided by the people or the voters in his district. And here, it has something to do with a technical term, that is district. What does district mean? That's a good question. Because, for example, if I want to run for office, if I want to run for a representative, I will ask all the voters who live in the same area as I do to vote for me. But how to decide which area, which district are the place that people can vote for me? That's a very technical question because you need to give them a boundary. The area is limited. It's not without a boundary. So how to decide boundary? That is a very tricky question. Of course, I want to select a district that most of people who like me and they want to support me. But if I make my district too large, probably some other people who are not familiar with me, they will not vote for me because they don't have that knowledge on who I am and what I fight for. So I want to choose an area that is not too big or not too small, so that most of the people in this area are more likely to support me. But who can decide the area or the district? It's not by me. It is by some other people. Those people sometimes can be the politicians. For example, the Republicans or the Democrats, whoever controlled the Congress of this state. And they have the power to make the boundaries, like how to divide the whole state into probably 10 or 20 districts. And in each district, the voters will vote and elect one representative. That's how the tricky part comes from. Gerrymandering means that when they redistrict, like every 10 years in the United States, usually they will have a census to count how many people, what's the population now, and then they will base on the most updated population to do the redistricting, meaning that they will do the new district like dividing. They make the new ones, they get rid of the old ones, and using the new district, people will vote for the representatives. But how to redistrict? The political parties, they try their best to make the boundaries to be beneficial for themselves. And that means gerrymandering. That means the practice of setting boundaries of electoral district to favor specific political interests within legislative bodies, often resulting in districts with convoluted, winding boundaries rather than compact areas. So convoluted is very complicated shapes, just like the shape of a salamander. And winding is not straight, it's not compact, it's not a simple shape, it is a winding, a very curvy area. That is why nowadays, if you look in detail for the district boundaries in the United States to see how they vote their representatives, it's very easy for you to see that there are many very weird shaped districts, and those were manipulated by the politicians, and it is called gerrymandering. And for the pronunciation of this word, gerrymandering, actually it should be called the gerrymandering, because the original person who was the governor of Massachusetts is called Elbridge Gerry. So it should be gerrymandering. However, people mostly pronounce it as gerrymandering. So it's kind of a mistake. But I will use the common pronunciation, gerrymandering. For this mispronunciation, even President Reagan, he mentioned this.
There's a term called gerrymandering. Some people say Jerry, but it was Gary, Gerry.
So it's pretty interesting, but it's not that important. So I'll just follow what most other people pronounce. I still call it gerrymandering.